If you've tried painting clouds with watercolors and have got muddy skies, harsh edges, or something that doesn't look like clouds at all, then you're definitely not alone. A lot of beginners struggle with controlling water on paper and don't really know when to stop and end up overworking the paper. Sometimes the colors blend or sometimes they do not blend at all. And the biggest question that I get asked as a watercolor artist is how do you blend those skies and get those soft fluffy clouds? So in today's video, I'm going to simplify this for you and I'm going to show you 4 simple ways that as a beginner you can paint your watercolor clouds without overdoing it. We'll begin with simple skies, then moving to adding wet on wet clouds, and then learning 2 more different ways to create clouds into your skies which do not look flat or dull. And by the end of this video, you'll not only understand the techniques but also feel confident while painting with watercolors. So without further ado, let's start. So now I'm going to be using this Himi watercolor palette of 24 colors. You can see the color swatch here, and we are going to understand different ways how you can paint the sky with clouds and without clouds. It's going to be a beginner friendly step-by-step process for you to understand. So first we'll begin in with a very simple sky, which is just going to be a layer of colors. So I'm going ahead with a wet layer of water. I'm using the Himi 100% cellulose 300 GSM paper pad, and it is perfect for watercolors as it sits perfectly and allows you enough time to work with simple exercises. So just going ahead with a layer of water, making sure I have an even layer of water throughout. And on top of it, I'm just going to be going ahead with a simple layer of colors for the sky. So I'm going to go ahead with the blue color, picking up this bright blue. And I'm just going to go ahead giving a simple gradient wash. So that is beginning from the top, I will just pick the darker color and moving downwards with the help of water, I will just keep diluting the color. You can see the gradient that is being formed into a sky. Every time I pick up the color, it will be moving from the top of the sky towards the downside, creating in a simple gradient sky. You can go ahead and create the level of darkness as per your need. I am going ahead with a good enough layer, making sure that after everything dries out, the colors still stay vibrant, because remember, watercolors dry out a tone lighter. So you see I've got a good simple gradient sky. You can go ahead and practice this with any color of your choice, creating in a gradient, the darker color at the top and moving towards the bottom. You just give the gradient with the help of water. Now same thing you can even do with a 2-color wash. So let's go ahead at the bottom and create a simple sky with no clouds, just 2 colors. I'm going ahead with a layer of water here as well. So just going with a good even layer of water. Make sure that whenever you go ahead with the water wash, you use clean water. Now into this we are going to go ahead with 2 colors. Now you have already seen the color study wherein you need to be careful about the complementary colors, the tertiary colors, making sure that your blending does not get muddy components. There is already a video regarding the same. So I'm going to go ahead with the yellow color and the blue color. So going ahead with the same yellow at the top, blue at the top. Now yellow and blue mixed together will give you a secondary color, which is going to be the green color. So in order to avoid the green, I'm going to leave little white gaps in between. Just pick up the yellow. I will go ahead with the yellowish orange color. And beginning from the bottom, I will just begin creating the same gradient for the yellow. So this time it's going to be reversed, the darker values at the bottom, moving towards the center. I will just lighten up the value, and when I reach closer to the blue, I will leave a little gap and just use a damp brush and let both the colors blend naturally. This will help me avoid any green tones and create in a simple blend between both the colors. Wherever you feel that the water is excess, you can simply just lift it up as well. So you see, we've got a simple gradient sky of two colors without forming in a secondary color. Now I'm just tilting my paper a bit, so you will see the blue and the yellow blend in much better. So these are two simple ways of painting skies. You can do this same with 3 colors, 4 colors. All you got to be careful is about how the colors will react when you add them, making sure that you know your color study, that which colors mixed together may give you muddy tones and which colors mixed together may either give you secondary tones. So you just need to be careful about the colors. Now you see, I'm just blending in little more, a little carefully, making sure no greens are there but the whites are covered up. So these are the two basic skies. Now we'll dive deeper into furthermore ways of adding more clouds into your basic skies. Now the next way we are going to see is leaving the whites of the paper to act in as the clouds. So I'm beginning in with a layer of water onto the top space first. We can use any color which we want to for these studies. It is all about understanding the technique and playing with watercolors to know how the water and the pigment mixed together creates its magic. So going ahead with a good even layer of water, make sure you don't have excess water, because when you want to leave in wide gaps and if you will have excess water, the water will make the pigment spread and cover up the white spots as well. Alright, now I'm going to pick up the Prussian blue color and just going to begin adding in simple clouds into the sky or creating in the sky color. But you will notice I'm not going with a simple gradient wash. I'm going to leave in simple spaces in between which will act in as the clouds. Now for that you can even use simple cloud shapes like these by just moving your brush in circular motions. And we let the whiteness of the paper play the cloud role. You see, excess water will create the color to spread out. So you need to have that water control. Now once you add in the first layer, you can go ahead with more layers wet on wet, building in the sky with the darker values. Again, when you do this, water control will be very important. If you will have excess water on the paper or in your pigment, the pigments will spread out completely and not retain the space in which you add them, maintaining in your clouds. And now if you want, you can even add more colors to it. So say I will just go ahead, pick up a little violet, add in some violet strokes. You see such darker values, quickly lifting them up, blending in with the blues. A simple violet blue sky with the white spaces of the paper doing the magic. Now wherever you feel if your paper is drying out, you can just run a little water brush. So you see a simple cloud study again that we did by just playing with the wetness and the whiteness of the paper to create in these simple lighter cloud spaces. And you run your brush in random circular motions depending on the type of study or reference that you've selected. And this way you can get a very simple cloud, as you can see here. Now if you want in between this, you can even go ahead, add in some smaller cloud details. Right? Just some smaller spots in between the white space to blend it all in. So you see, we've used the whiteness of the paper to create in the cloud depth. So that is one way of creating in the clouds. Now the other way is going to be the lifting technique, for which I would recommend you to either keep a cloth or a tissue ready. So I prefer using tissue because it's easier and keeps it very small edged that you can keep it. Alright, so let's begin in first with a layer of water onto this bottom space. So say if you do not want to keep the whiteness of the paper or unable to maintain the whiteness, so the other way is the lifting technique, which I'm showing you with the tissue paper. Just go ahead with a wet layer of water. I will go ahead with a simple mix of the violet and the blue color sky. Alright, just creating a simple blended sky. Now violet and blue mixed together forms very different tones of blues and violets, which makes it look a very natural sky color. So I'm just going ahead with a simple wash of the blend of the two colors randomly. And now into this, while this is wet, I'm going to take the tissue, create a good soft ball edge, and just gently lift in from the spaces where you want to create in those cloud spots. You don't need to dab too hard, just very slight dab. Depending on how much pressure you apply, the color lifting will behave. You see how simple cloud spots are being formed by lifting up the color. Now when you go ahead with this kind of method, the staining property of the pigments also plays a major role, whether the pigment is straining, non-straining, lightly straining. So that also you will have to take into consideration when you go ahead with such a lifting technique. You see, we've lifted up the colors created in the lighter spots for the cloud. If you will dab too hard, you will get very sharp edge, but when you dab gently, you will see the edges are soft blended into the sky. Now if you want, just take a very small pointed edge and you can create in some further mini dabs into the sky. So you can do this in multiple ways and you get a simple looking cloud ready. So by lifting technique, you can create in this, and then you can of course go ahead with a wet on wet layer as well. So you see there are two ways of doing this. One is a simple leaving the white spaces, and the second one is the lifting technique. The lifting technique will of course get you a little sharpness into the sky, whereas the dabbing leaving the white space technique will give you a very soft blended sky, and you can dab in and create whichever cloud shape you wish to, however, and you can even go ahead with more layers on top of it once everything dries out, doing the re-wetting technique. So that's about how you can use two ways, the whiteness of the paper or the dabbing technique. And now lastly, for the last part of it, I'm going to show you how with the colors you can add in the clouds into your sky. Going ahead with a wet layer of water and going to be creating in a simple base sky. You can again choose 2-color sky, 3-color sky, whichever you wish to. And we'll just learn how to have water control and add in the details into the sky. So first I will go ahead with a layer of the paints, going ahead with blue, and this time I will just pick up a little bit of the pink color. Now when you want to add in the details of the clouds wet on wet, that is your sky is wet and you want to add in cloud strokes into this simple wet sky layer that you've created, you got to be careful about the water control on your brush, the water on your paper, and the wetness of your paints. Only then will you be able to achieve in a simple detail of the clouds coming in. So you see I've got a simple blend of two colors, that is the pink and the blue. When both mixed together is automatically creating in the violet clouds in between, right? So this is one simple wash that we've done. Now on top of it, I want to go ahead with cloud strokes. So onto this one first, I'm going to show you the wrong way of doing it. My paper is wet. I will pick up very extra wet paint. So I will add in a lot of water, pick up the paint. Okay, now my brush has too much water and paint, and when I add them, you will see it's dispersing and just blending into the back, spreading completely, merging, not retaining the shapes in which I am adding them. Alright, and you will see how they will after drying also give a very flat look. Same way, let me pick up a little bit of a wet blue color with a very watery consistency. and just dropping in the clouds. You will see how, because of the water, these strokes will spread out completely and cover up the entire space rather than maintaining the shape in which I add them. Alright, you will notice once it dries out. Now for the next one here, let's go ahead, add in a layer of water. I will just blend this in because the top was drying out. Now by the time this dries out, let's go ahead with the right water consistency and understand. So I'm going ahead with a layer of water. Make sure not excess wet, not excess dry, just a simple even layer. Going to go ahead with the same colors. The blue at the top and the pink at the base. And when both will blend together, automatically form a beautiful blended purple effect. So you see, we started with the same base that we did at the top. Now I will clean my brush, make sure no excess water on my brush either. And even on the paper, I will just run up again, making sure no excess water anywhere. Alright, now when I will go ahead with the cloud strokes, I will not pick up any excess water. I will just pick up the pigment and make sure I don't even have excess dark pigment, and just begin adding in soft strokes of the clouds. You see how they are retaining the space in which I am adding them here, and here they just spread and blended across. See, simple strokes closer to each other, somewhere much more darker, bolder strokes. Even if you want to add it in a circular motion, you can do that too. And you will notice how it's still retaining the space in which I am adding it, but still has the softness of the blend into the back of the sky. Same way, I will just pick up a little bit of the blue color. Again, no excess water. Dabbing the brush so that the excess water is grabbed by the tissue or the towel, and just going to add in some blue strokes as well. My paper is wet, that is making these strokes soft, but because my brush does not have excess water or pigment, you will see how it retains the space in which I add them and form that beautiful cloud effect. See, even when I am working with so much of the colors, it's still retaining the space in which I am adding them and not blending into the base completely. Now you can see the difference into both of the clouds at the top and at the base. Here it's more of the softness, completely blended, giving in a flat wash. Here the clouds are retaining the strokes in which I have added them, maintaining the shape, yet having the softness. So water control plays a very important role when you are working wet on wet to create such clouds. So these were a few simple ways of creating in the clouds. So as a beginner, we learned creating in simple clouds using simple wash of the color, then playing along with the white spaces of the paper, or using the dabbing technique to create in clouds, or working wet on wet with different strokes to create in the clouds, some round circular strokes and simple strokes to create the cloud, understanding the wetness and the right layer and importance of the wetness of the paper as well as the pigments on your brush. I hope you guys enjoyed this session and learned about working with different ways of creating clouds with watercolors. There are much more ways, but as a beginner, if you just get a hang of these few techniques, it will be very easier for you to work on with any different technique to create in any complicated skies or clouds as well. In case if you have any queries or want further help about these, you can drop down into the comment section below and I will try to answer in your queries there as well. Thank you so much for watching.